Dr. Eve here. Welcome to my channel. Always super excited to be here to give you tips and tools on well being. I'm Dr. Eve, your community health and human service educator and qualitative researcher on a journey to building sustainable living. I've got a hot topic for you today, and it's a big one, and I believe that many people struggle with. So, I have been having a lot of conversations with my daughter about, busyness, like always being busy, always doing things, and trying to figure out wait a minute, I am really struggling with trying to do everything at one time, right? And that's not a good balance. What that says to me is that I'm struggling with attention deficit. I'm struggling with keeping my focus on a thing or two, right? And I was having a conversation this morning with a friend, and she mentioned a goal that she has, right? And I said, well, it sounds like you better go home and pay attention to that goal because as social workers in practice, we can be pulled in so many different directions that we forget about home, but that is not the order of God. He is God first. That's not the order of the kingdom, our king. He says, Him first, learn, be with Him in the Word, all the things, study the word so we understand what our purpose is in life. And we only have one purpose, and he told us that is to create, produce, and multiply, right? All the things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I recommended to my friend and something that I am also practicing. And this is why I was able to recommend it to her, because I be on the struggle bus. So what I am doing now is, and I shared this with my husband, is like, I just need to have a few things I'm doing every day towards the main goal, right? So I'm retired, but I'm still an entrepreneur. I'm still a kingdom entrepreneur. I'm still all things well-being. So I'm still doing the things of God, right? But how do I do that in a way, in a healthy way, so that I'm not all over the place? So one of the things that I'm working on, and let me just give you an example of this. And if you have a pen and some paper, please get you some pen and paper and write this down, because you guys, this is really a great method and it's really working for me. So my goal is, number one, not be all over the place, right? To stay focused. Stay focused on the thing that that you're called to do. So in this time in my life, I am building out a cottage garden, right? A nursery, a place where it's beautiful flowers, beautiful vegetables, beautiful all the time, right? Beautiful permaculture where birds are chirping and butterflies are flying, and all the things. Building an ecosystem, a healthy ecosystem. And if you are in business, this is what building a ecosystem looks like. What are the things that you have to do to have a healthy ecosystem in whatever the goal is that you have? So building out this cottage garden requires a lot of me, right? And sometimes I can find myself doing 50 million things at one time. Well, that's not healthy, right? And then again, it's not achieving the goal, right? Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's not achieving the goal for the day. So if I am looking at, so I want you to write these things down. We're going to be talking about a method that I'm using today. Now, if whatever your goal is, write that down. For me, it's cottage gardening, a place where people can come, they can tour, they can get vegetables, I can grow vegetables, all the things. And I have to build that out. What does that look like? So I sit down and I draw out what this looks like. Okay, cottage gardening. I want a Mediterranean garden. So cottage gardening is the big goal. It's the big goal, right? So in the center of your paper, write down the big goal. And then what does it take to achieve the cottage garden? It requires it requires divisions. It requires design, right? And so by design, and if I get to running y'all out here, but it is raining, but to God be the glory, I'm under a tent, so hopefully I won't have to scatter. But we're going to call the clouds up under subjection until God allows me to finish this video so that I can talk to his people, okay? So I have this cottage gardening goal. Now, what is required to have a cottage garden? Well, you got to have some kind of design, right? So that's a thing, design. So put a little arrow that says design, right? So then, of course, you have to have, number one, in order to have a cottage garden, you have to have what? Healthy soil. Put soil, that arrow right there. You have to have flowers. You have to have vegetables. You have to have sitting areas. So by design, you want to have sitting areas, right? So now I can look at these sub areas, these sub areas, and now I can add more arms, more vines, more branches to my already design healthy goal. So the goal is cottage gardening, which needs design, which needs flowers, which needs scaping, which needs all these things. So which am I going to work on today, right? So, but at the same time, while I am doing all of these things, I have to remember that my cottage design also has an entrepreneurial arm, right? And then the entrepreneurial arm of that thing, what is that going to look like for me, right? Because I am not only producing a cottage garden, but according to the research, as a researcher, all of the things that I produce in my garden has the potential of earning, right? Earning income. So that's a whole entrepreneurial arm that needs to be off by itself. But not only that, but that entrepreneurial arm is every day, because you got stuff growing in the garden every day. You got your greenhouse, which is behind me. You have all the vegetation and all the flowers that are already growing. You have seed harvesting, right? So that's another arm. Why? Because that's the only way you're going to keep your garden going, is that you have to harvest your seeds. So that's another arm, right? To keep things multiplying. So once you do it, you just keep doing it. So today, so what I do every day to meet a goal is I say, okay, what can I do today to add value to my systems, and my systems meaning my public systems, which is my public arm, PR, which is my marketing and advertising to keep me going as a person who is out here doing cottage gardening. So I have this channel, right? I have my Instagram channel. I have my Facebook channel. So what do I do during this to make all this stuff work together? So the one thing I do is I have three things towards my goal of the day, because you can get so thrown off and you have 50 different things going on at one time. Again, we're talking about suppressing, we're talking about minimizing your attention to do things, the deficit attention, because we got to stay focused. And sometimes we can have attention deficit hyperactive disorder. We are around here just doing everything, right? Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I believe that's what it is. So every day to feed my channel, I'm just going to give you my chores of the day. What am I doing today, right? But I already know that, okay, my roses are growing. What I got to do with them? I had an abundance of roses, and this just got me today. Like all of those roses that I grew the first couple of days, when they first came out, I had so many roses on that bush. But here's the problem. I let all the roses leaves fall to the ground. That is a part of my entrepreneur arm. So we have to stay focused that when things are in production, we have to say, well, we have to begin the life cycle of, well, what do we do next with this? Now that they've bloomed, what do we do? So this is how I'm thinking now. Each day has, I'm scanning the garden. I'm making observations of things because every day I need to be doing something. So when I saw the last bit of roses, but I know they'll come every day, but what did I just lost a whole lot of them. So what they'll come every day, but for now, I now know that what I should have been doing was harvesting my leaves. So this is a part of the entrepreneur arm. These are the roses I picked this morning that are falling to the ground. What can these be used for? These roses can be used for my soaps and beauty products, right? I can use them in my lotion. I can use them in my soaps. I can use them, they're edible. I can use them in so many different ways. So y'all, it is picking up out here. I don't know if I'm gonna have to run in, but I'm gonna keep going. The other thing was, okay, now that I have these leaves off of what do I do with the heads? What do I do with the rosebud heads? So then I thought, it's propagation season, y'all. We should also be propagating to do what? Multiply. So what do we do? So I said, Lord, let me get these flowers that I pick every day. So I have these leaves, and I'm going to give you an example of how you propagate your rose. Okay, so I picked one. To give you an example that's a bunch, right? So this is what they look like. You got some deadheads, right? So the first thing you want to do is you cut them down below a node, right? Your node is going to be right here where things are branching out. So that's where your nodes are. So I'm cutting these spikes off because, boy, they are painful, right? So I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to cut these leaves off because I don't want any more energy going into these leaves. What I am looking for is to now get a new rose bush. So I'm going to take these leaves. Now I don't want any more energy going to these. So I'm clipping them off. And I'm going to leave that looks like I don't want to leave that leaf. So even though it is getting some new stuff on it. So I don't know. What is that? This must be one of the yellow ones. It is. So I'm going to leave this leaf. And I'm going to take this one off. Okay. So now I have one little stem. And I want to get roots. I want to get roots either from this node. It's going to come from this node because this is the node. And this is what I've done, y'all. I'm using these donut holes. And so I'm going to put this right in here. And let these little spikes do what they do. And then I'm going to put this in some water with these, and I'm going to fill it up. You see how that fits into the mouth of the jar? Look at that. It's absolutely perfect. It fits into the mouth of the jar. And so what I will do now is fill the jar up with water, and we will watch this propagate. But since I had two more, I'm going to also put them in there. And they can share space together. We're going to propagate some more rose bushes. The goal is to get some roots off these nodes and grow some more rose bushes. Why? Because that's what kingdom growing is all about. Doing kingdom work is all about. You reproduce. So we are learning to do it God's way. He told us that we have only one job, and that's to be fruitful and to multiply. And that could mean a lot of things, right? So we're going to start doing what we know we need to do. And y'all, this rain is coming down good. But this one don't have a leaf on it, so I'm going to take it out because it's about to be annoying. Uh-oh. Y'all, I'm losing okay, I lost my donut. Okay, so let's get it back. Let's get my donut back. Now, if the water was up to the top, it would not have fell in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually going to clip this, and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to put this in within the foam so it doesn't fold, so it doesn't fall out. So now, there we go. So now we got propagation of a rose that's about to happen. I'm going to pour some water in there, and we're going to see how this goes. And just to give you proof that you can do that, I want to show you how I'm propagating my philodendron. So this is, all of you know that philodendron has a lot of leaves, and they grow long, 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 long. What is a philodendron or an apothis? It's these plants, right? It's these. And you know they grow so long, and you'd be like, well, where do I put all these, what do I do with all of this growth? Cut them off, just like I showed you. Put them in a jar, and this is what you'll have. Right here at the node, it's going to develop a root, and look at there. Look at the flower. Look at the leaf about to emerge. So it works, y'all, if we work it. So let us be certain that we are out here doing this kingdom work, but that we are staying focused, you know, because the purpose of this video was to let you all know. Y'all hear them beautiful birds? I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to take this out again because I have another rose. I want to put it, just like I put that rose in there, I'm going to put this rose in here and drive them right into the foam so they stay, because their needles will keep them right there. So we're going to put that needle in there. Just let it do. Make sure these needles, yeah, so that one didn't stay all that well, but let's see if we can get it to, yeah, there we go. All right, so make sure that you are keeping your needles going. Fill that jar up to the top and watch it grow, just like my philodendron, right? So today my goal was to teach you about the rose, learn about the rose first. So I studied the rose, and as a matter of fact, on my Instagram, go and like my Instagram channel. If you click the link in this description, like my Instagram channel, where I am teaching about, giving you the research on the things that are going on in my garden every day, and the different ways and methods that I'm using to keep producing, right? Keep producing. So this is going to be for beauty products. This is going to be for new roses. So I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Dr. Eve. It's exciting to be with you to teach you different methods. I am an educator, qualitative researcher, and a mom, wife, and a grandmother here on the homestead, teaching you all the things about sustainable living. Have the most amazing day, and whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. And remember, there are always going to be new seasons in your life, and I'm excited to be on this retirement journey, resting, relaxation, but it's always an opportunity to create for the kingdom. So peace and blessings to you all. Have a great day. See you on the next video.